Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Automobilista 2 video. Now, it's been a little while, in fact it's been a couple of weeks I think since I last uploaded one of these videos, and to be honest I haven't played a great deal of the game. It's just been a really busy time with the PlayStation 5 announcement and also Project Cars 3 as well. So I thought it was definitely time to come back to this one. I still absolutely love this game, and while I've been away there has actually been a couple of updates and there's been quite a few changes made to the game. Quite a lot of it very subtle, but it's more of the same stuff that we have been seeing coming through from Reza. We're now up to version 0.9.7 and we're getting incredibly close to that final version 1 release, which we know is just around the corner. So a lot of it is just general tweaks, but as we've come to expect with every one of these updates, they have been tuning the force feedback along with the physics as well. There's been quite a lot of work going on in that department, but the biggest change certainly that I noticed coming back to it is what they've done with the AI. Now, as always, I have got some gameplay for you here as well, which I'm going to be showing in the background whilst talking to you today. Now, this time round, what I decided to do was use one of the newer categories that was added into the game, which is the Hot Cars category, which came in a couple of updates ago, and I did say in the last video that I'd probably be giving one of these a go. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Now, the car that I've gone for, as you can see on screen right now, is a front wheel drive, which in itself causes me certainly a load of problems when it comes to driving these things. I'm sure a lot of you guys are exactly the same. The vast majority of cars we tend to be using are rear wheel drive, so stepping into a front wheel drive car, it does feel very different. But as you can see, this has got 170 horsepower, it only weighs 775 kilograms, and it has a 168 newton meters of torque. It's also a 4-speed manual as well, using the H-pattern box, which is good for me because I've still got issues with my wheel and I cannot actually upshift with the paddle. So for this I will be using the manual shifter, which will suit this car a little bit better than it has some of the others that I've been showing on the channel recently. Okay, so here we go, and as always with Automobilista 2 here, I have got this set up with a rolling start. It's definitely just my preference from within this game, but here we go. We'll have a green light now and we're away. So like I say, the biggest challenge with these new cars, and all of them within this category are exactly the same, they're all front wheel drive, and if it's not something you do very often, it does take quite a bit of adjusting to get the real feel for it. There is a real issue here, certainly with all these cars in this category anyway, with lift-off oversteer, so it's so important to be as smooth as you possibly can. Make sure you're on the brakes nice and early for the corners, and before you start turning you want to be very slightly on that power, and then just feed the throttle up as you come around the turn and obviously accelerate out the other end. Lifting the throttle will almost definitely see the back end slip out, and to be honest with you, it's only going to be costing you time, or in some cases it could be costing you a big accident with some of these AI cars as well. Now I'm just going to try and squeeze around the outside here. I'm not sure, no, there you go, he's going to come straight back through. I'll have to give him this line. But what I love about this track is just how tight it is. Obviously it's a really flowing circuit and it's very nice with these particular cars. Yeah, there you go. So the back end just gets really squirrely there, and that's down to letting off the throttle while I'm coming around that corner. So you do have to be a little bit careful with it, but at the same time obviously you got to avoid these other cars on track at the same time too. Now, the main reason for actually making this video is that when I came back to play this game after the long break, like I said to you earlier, the difference between how it was playing to how it is now is pretty vast, to be honest with you. It's mainly down to the AI. They've obviously worked a lot with the way that they are interacting with you as a human on the track. They seem to be far more aware of your positioning now, which is a great thing and something that obviously needed addressing pretty urgently. Previously we did have a lot of collisions, cars going straight into the back of you when you're braking, but equally they were just unaware that you were behind them when they were braking. It was impossible to actually keep out of their way. So it's really nice to see that that's all been addressed, and I can honestly say the game feels completely different now, and all that much for the better. Okay, so lap 2, I am going to start having to push a little bit harder here if I do want to be going for first position. We'll just have to see how this all goes. But the other thing is the difficulty. There's a huge difference between when I was playing it a couple of weeks ago to when I came back and played it today. Now, Before I had the difficulty set to 95, and a lot of you guys that have been watching the channel and following this particular game will know that I have been struggling to get a first position in any of the recorded videos I've done anyway. Obviously I have got them off camera, but coming back to it today, it's definitely a lot easier. I've left it on 95, quick cheeky overtake there. I've yeah, left it on 95. I came back and I was getting wins straight away. I tried various different cars, different tracks, and I was having no issues with it at all. So it does look like they've addressed that now. I know they said this previously, and I think I mentioned it in the previous video as well, that they had done this. But yeah, it definitely seems if you leave it around the 100% mark on the difficulty and then just move it a few sort of stages up and below, it definitely seems to be the way to do it. There is a big enough a difference between, say, 95 and 105 to really notice it, and you'll still notice it in the middle at 100 as well. So I'm just going to go down the... Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that, actually. No, he's driven into me. There you go. So there is still a little bit of AI issue there. But it is, I mean, for the whole part, or sort of for the most part, it seems to be a whole lot better anyway. The other thing as well is the aggression. Much like the difficulty, it now feels like there is a purpose to actually moving that slider and affecting exactly what your opponents are going to be playing like. So now, assuming you sit close to the 50 mark, which is what they're telling you to do anyway, if you read what they've been releasing with their patch notes, if you go with that, you can genuinely feel a difference if you are sliding it a small way away from that 50 mark, either up or down. So it is worth playing around with it, get it right for yourself. But there is definitely now a reason to come back and try this in single player mode. I know a lot of you guys out there have kind of just gone away from it because you've got fed up with the way the AI cars are actually playing on the track with you. But trust me, it's definitely improved. Is it 100% there? Probably not. There's some more tweaks they could definitely do, but compared to how it was, it does feel so much better. Whoa, there we go, another bit of lift off, oversteer there, and nearly straight into the back of that car as well. Now, fourth lap, I need to push quite hard here, although, well, there we go. I'm not going to get through there. At least I didn't drive into him this time. But yeah, I am going to have to push quite a lot harder to make sure I can get a victory here. Will this be the first one on the channel? I'm going to say probably not. In practice, I've been much higher up the table by this point to get that victory. 5 positions to go. A handful of corners. I'll see how I do, but I'm not too hopeful, to be honest with you. The other thing as well that Reza have announced in the latest patch notes, of some note anyway to me, if you're into wet weather racing, they are going to be trying to sort out all the wiper animations. I'm going to get past this guy here on the right hand side. If he'll, yeah, I'm past him. I'm sliding. I'm past him. Try and take this one as well. So there we go, up into 3rd position. Am I going to be able to take these guys on this final corner? I can see a gap there. I'm going to take the inside. This is going to be pretty close, to be honest. If I can slipstream the guy in front of me, I don't think I'm going to get to the line there. No, and yeah, I've just fumbled the gear change as well. But there we go, across the line in 2nd position. I will definitely take that. I have had a first, like I say, in practice, but it never seems to go right for me when I've got the cameras recording. But yeah, what I was saying was that they are going to be sorting out the animations for the actual windscreen wipers for every car, or that's what they're saying, before version 1.0 comes out. And also they are going to be solving the problem whereby some of them are already working in terms of animation, but they're not actually going with the removal of the water on the screen, so it does look all out of sync and all very strange. But they have promised, or at least they're going to try and get all of that sorted out, like I say, before version 1.0 lands. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope in a strange way it may have spurred you on to go and try out the hot cars category if you haven't done so yet within the game. Don't be put off by the fact that they are front wheel drive or that they haven't got a huge amount of power. You can have loads of fun with them. Just choose a smaller track and I promise you, you will really enjoy it. If this game is a game you would like to see more of here on the channel, please do let me know down in the comment section. Also, if you do want to see more content coming from me, make sure you subscribe and also hit that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload a video. I've been receiving loads of comments from you guys and I absolutely love receiving them and going through them all. If you do want to get in contact with me, it's the best way to just have a chat with me is use that comment section. But also use that comment section if you would like to recommend any other games you think I should be trying out here on the channel. I'm always open to offers. Whether I get around to it or not is a different matter altogether, but it would just be great to hear your recommendations. For the next one of these videos, I may well go back to ACC. I just feel like playing it again. It's been a little while, but thanks for coming by today, and I'll see you all on the next one.